All right, today you guys, I'm going to show you how to add some details or fine tune some of your little pieces. As you can see, I still need to add my ears. And so I have made my ears and I'm going to slip and score them on. For this bunny, I am going to add some earphones at this point. So I am scoring, I might add a little computer, not sure. So I'm scoring both edges. Little slip. Now these are very big ears and I've just set them on. Don't just set them on like this. They need some work. What I want to do is I want to kind of place them. I want them a little bit curved. That's why mine are a little bit longer here. And I'm going to have this curved. But then I'm holding him very gently and then I'm smoothing them together. So a toothpick has been working really great. If you have a toothpick at home, it's a really nice tool, or a pencil, or your finger. So with this, then I have to do like the nose and the eyes and the mouth. And so I have a couple different ideas. Like I could first take and very gently carve in my eye frame. I'm like, okay, my eyes are gonna go here. And I could carve that out, or that could be my eye. Now I have all these little clay boogers that maybe you've noticed that your animal is getting a little bit harder, which is awesome, a little bit more leather hard. And then from there, you can kind of brush out some of those clay boogers as it starts to harden a little bit more. It's hard to make things symmetrical. It's very hard. And then I can kind of work through the nose. And maybe I'm just gonna carve, or maybe I'm gonna add clay, right? So I could sit and just kind of pinch and try to carve that out. It's gonna take a little bit of effort. So you can see here, I'm kind of just slowly carving little pieces out. And I can work on my other face a little bit more so you can see a little bit more of that. These are gonna get a little bit fragile, so if I'm feeling nervous about that at any point, what I can do is I'm gonna take tiny little pieces of coils, like I've talked about, dip those tiny little pieces of clay in water. So I have this tiny little coil, and I'm just gonna add that to add a little bit more stability if I was feeling like they were getting too skinny or too falling apart too much, right? So that is a way those little coils around. We've talked about that a couple different times, but you might need to do that for some parts. And so if I was feeling like, they're just not staying great, that's how I would continue to add clay. Just dip those little coils in water. The back is seeming okay, but I might need to add a little bit more in there. I'm gonna kind of let it set for a minute and then see how I feel. So for me, I'm gonna add these headphones. I haven't done the eyes yet totally. With my headphones, I made the parts. So I'm gonna add these headphones, like very bizarre here. So I'm laying it out. That looks a little crazy, but let's see how we do. Kind of looks like earmuffs. So I'm gonna have it like this, but I need to, of course, sculpt it, which the minute it gets tinier and littler, it gets harder. So here I go. I'm going to slip and score these guys right here. Add my slip. And this is how we're just gonna continue to add details. So this is details to my bunny. And I can kind of carve some details into my headphone part here. I'm gonna score here. And I'm kind of moving them so I feel like they stay along with my ears a little bit. With this, it's gonna take me a little bit more to kind of, I keep breaking toothpicks, which is kind of hilarious. So I'm seeing if this is big enough, and that's seeming kind of big enough at this point. I'd like it a little bit skinnier, but what's hard is that it's just such a tiny little area already. So, thought I had another, oh yeah, I grabbed another toothpick. So again, I'm just gonna kind of get those edges off and then slip and score that. I could have made my headphones and then put them on, but I work better kind of working as I go about. So you'll see. And then I'm going to connect all of that. So this is slow work. Like this is not fast things happening. This is very tiny little tedious sculpting. You can see, and it takes more than just one time, right? Like if I add this today, I need to spend a little bit of time like, okay, I'm going to let this be for a little bit, and then I'm going to go back through and clean it up even more. So that's kind of the beginning of some of my animal pieces, or my details. For this bunny as well, I want to go through and kind of carve some of this out a little bit. So I'm going to kind of take my finger and kind of get some of that out. And then I haven't done the details of like the toes and the hands. So I will do that. As you can see here, I'm going to do that, but then it's still not done for me. I'm going to want to kind of let that harden so I can do it again. So the more that your clay gets a little bit more leather hard, I'm still packing it up, but I don't want all those little boogers just chilling everywhere, right? And then I would, of course, do that all on his feet as well. I haven't added his tail, so that's another piece. If I wanted to, maybe I was going to add like fur, and I would add this whole texture over the whole little bunny, okay? So that's how I'd add details to my bunny.